Hello, this is Amy from Little Nuthatch Co. Today I'm going to walk you through I Belong Here, an imposter syndrome workbook from Little Nuthatch Co. As we move through the pages, I'll fill in a few of them so you can get a sense of how the workbook works in real time. There are 4 parts in total, and you can move through them at whatever pace feels right for you. The whole workbook is built around gathering real evidence, not trying to talk yourself into feeling different. The idea of imposter syndrome goes back to 1978, when Doctors Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes first described the imposter phenomenon. Later, Dr. Valerie Young expanded that work into 5 types: the perfectionist, the natural genius, the expert, the rugged individualist, and the superperson. It's completely normal to see yourself in more than one of these. For many people, this is the moment when things start to make sense. What they've been feeling isn't about weakness. It's a pattern with a name, and that means they're not alone in it. This page gives you a way to take an honest inventory before you begin. There are 13 statements, and you simply mark the ones that feel true for you today. You'll see things like, I feel like I got here by luck, or I'm waiting to be found out. Others include, I over-prepare to compensate, or I don't like taking credit for my accomplishments. Don't worry if you find yourself checking more boxes than you expected. And underneath the checklist, there's a question that matters even more than any box you mark. What brought you to this workbook today? Give yourself a moment to notice what comes up and write it down. Before part 1 begins, I want to pause on this page. It's called When You Get Stuck, and it's here for the moments when the workbook itself feels hard to start. Working through imposter feelings can bring up its own resistance, so this page acts as a small safety net you can return to whenever you need it. It covers 4 situations. If you can't think of any evidence, it suggests starting with actions instead of feelings. If you can't think of a win, it encourages you to go smaller. Getting out of bed counts, sending 1 email counts. If writing feels like too much, it tells you to close the workbook and come back when you have 15 quiet minutes. Nothing in here has to be done in a particular order. If the critic is too loud to begin, the workbook asks you to write down exactly what the critic is saying, word for word. Not to argue with it, simply get it out of your head and onto the page, where it can't keep looping. You can come back to this page as often as you require. The first part of the workbook is the evidence log, and it lays the foundation for everything that comes after. Imposter syndrome works by discounting evidence. Every compliment becomes luck. Every success becomes timing. This log isn't a gratitude journal. It's a counter-argument. Each entry has 3 parts: what happened, how you contributed, and what it actually proves. The last part is the one we tend to skip, so take your time with it. There are 3 full pages of entries, 9 in total, and 2 more pages for compliments and feedback you've received from others. Because other people's words are part of the evidence too, and writing them down helps you hold on to the pieces imposter syndrome usually erases. At the end of part 1, there's a page called Your Evidence Collected. It's where you gather the pieces that matter most, name the thing you almost dismissed, and write down the truest thing you know about yourself when the critic gets loud. It's the page to return to on the hard days. In part 2, we introduce the reframe. The page begins with 4 example pairs to guide you, with the critic's statement on the left and the honest counter-argument on the right. And the idea is simply to help you see the difference between the story your critic tells and the one that's actually true. One example says, "If people looked a little closer, they'd see I'm not qualified." And the truth beside it says, "I'm not hiding anything. The version people see as real and my experience counts. The parts I keep to myself are human, not disqualifying." Another example says, "I only work this hard because I'm hiding how unqualified I really am." And the truth beside it says, "Effort isn't a cover-up. The work I do is real, and the energy I put in doesn't erase my ability. It adds to it." At the bottom of the page, there's a reminder that the reframe doesn't have to feel true right now. Write it anyway. That's how you make room for something more honest. Next is the Wins Vault, which is here for the days when you need a reminder of what's real and what you've already done, especially when your critic is loud or your confidence feels thin. These don't have to be big accomplishments. Any win counts, and the small ones often carry the most weight because they're the ones we tend to overlook. You'll build this section now, and the workbook will tell you on page 29 when to come back to it, such as before a presentation, after tough feedback, or anytime the comparison spiral starts to pick up. The thought record is for the moments when you're dealing with one specific thought that keeps showing up. The kind that feels sharp enough to pull your attention away from everything else. The page guides you through it step by step. You start with the situation, then the thought itself. After that, you write out the evidence for and against it, and finally you land on something more balanced, something that can hold both truths at once without collapsing into the critic's version. There's a distress scale at the bottom of the page, before and after the reframe, so you can see whether the thought has softened even a little. The page ends with a reminder that you don't need certainty. You're looking for a slightly more accurate story. The last part of the workbook is the ritual section. This one is called Before You Walk In, and it's a 5-step guide for any moment that feels high stakes. A presentation, an interview, a difficult conversation, or anything that makes you doubt your footing. Step 1 asks you to name 3 things you genuinely know, things that matter for whatever is about to happen, and a reminder that you're not walking in empty-handed. Step 2 asks you to name 1 relevant win from your wins vault, something that shows you've already done something that matters. Step 3 helps you separate what's outside your control, which is often the part that carries the most anxiety. Step 4 asks you to set 1 intention for what you want to contribute today, something steady and realistic rather than something perfect. Step 5 is the physical reset. 2 deep breaths. Feet planted, shoulders back. A small way to remind your body that you're allowed to take up space. The page ends with this: you're already in the room, and that's enough. You don't need to feel ready, you only need to begin. At the end of the workbook, there's a closing page that acknowledges that you made it here, and the work you've done is real. The wins vault is yours to keep adding to whenever something good happens that you might otherwise overlook. The rituals you built are yours to use anytime you walk into a room that makes you doubt your place in it. The evidence you gathered is real. You found it, which means it was there all along. Come back to any page that helped you. Skip any page that didn't. Both are completely fine. This workbook is a fully fillable PDF, so it works in any PDF app you already use, including Adobe Acrobat. It also works beautifully in GoodNotes and Notability on a tablet. And if putting pen to paper feels more natural to you, you can print it at home. There are 8 color themes now: sage, lavender, celestial, Terra, rose, patina, and amber for print, plus a celestial dark edition built for screens. And every theme comes in both US letter and A4, so you can use it no matter where you are. The demo you're watching uses A4 Lavender Edition, but the walkthrough applies to every theme. The colors change, but the pages and the structure stay the same. I Belong Here is available at littlnuthatchco.etsy.com. Everything in the Little Nuthatch Co. Etsy shop is designed to help you feel more capable, more grounded, and more connected to what's true for you. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope I Belong Here gives you something steady to return to, especially on the days when your critic is loud or your confidence feels thin. You're welcome to move through the workbook at your own pace, come back to the pages that help, and skip anything that doesn't land. The work is yours now, and you get to use it in the way that supports you best. Thank you for watching, and I hope you feel a little more capable this week.